Hello everyone. So my name is Java and today we have a really special guest here, Tommy, and he has a really amazing and unique story. Like he was on some he had some a tough kind of background, but then he changed everything. He went sober and then after that he started his business, went all in on sales, and honestly he's been crushing it ever since. And Tommy, can you give a little bit of background?
Yeah. So, like you said, I've been in sales my whole life. I got into roofing 9 years ago. I decided to open my own company about 4.5 years ago. Less than about in about three and a half years, we did $12 million in 1 year in revenue. After that, we did. I decided to open a new company, and I'm on the new journey of opening a new company right now. So I just opened this company. We already have in 2 months. We have 7 salespeople. We have we've already done about 25 deals, and it's really going forward. So that's a background on me.
Awesome, man. So, can you give a little bit more about and tell how you got into a bad lifestyle and how you overcame all of that? Because honestly, it's not an easy thing. That is the thing that I would say a lot of people struggle with, and they are not able to overcome that, right? Because that's really hard. That type of change. So, what made you push through all of that?
Actually, some guys in roofing approached me and basically said, "You have a problem, man, and you've got to change it." And I kind of blew them off. I said, "No, I don't. No, I don't." And they could see it. Everyone else could see it, but myself. That I had a drug problem. And so finally, after I kind of hit rock bottom, I was that guy that was like in the movies where you see the drug addict like tearing apart the house looking for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
They tearing apart the house looking for their drugs, yelling at who took my pills, that was the drug addict that I was. I was a mess, and after I finally hit a point where I just couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, I decided that I would change. And that change, so I went back to those guys in roofing and I said, "Hey, you guys say you can help me. How do we fix this?" And they got me in the rooms. They got me in AA, and I started to change my life. Um, and through that, ever since then, I've made more money. I've had better relationships. I've had better lifestyle, and uh, it's been completely life changing to get sober, for sure.
That's awesome, and that's honestly really inspiring to see as well. So, I would say, I would ask this question just to make sure, hopefully nobody gets into what you have gotten through. So,
Yeah.
why do you think most people, or maybe most young men like yourself, fall into such things?
For one, it's so easy, right? Like, it's so easy to. Now we can find drugs anywhere. Drugs are everywhere. And I think that a lot of young men don't know what they're going to do with their life in today's world. There's so many problems in this world, and there's so many heartaches, and it's so hard to be successful and happy, in this world, especially for young men, that they go through this phase of how am I going to do this, and where am I going to go, and what am I going to do. And it's a lot easier just to kill it out and party and have fun. And the hard work is scary. It's really scary to go know that you have a lot of hard work in front of you. So I think a lot of young men avoid it, and we find ourselves in situations like that, doing drugs and such. So I think that it's better. I wouldn't say it's better. I would say that it's really hard to figure out once you're in. It's very easy to to find drugs and do them, and it's very hard to find your way out. But I can tell you that this lifestyle is much more rewarding than that lifestyle.
Yeah, honestly, not having a purpose, that's a really big one. Because if you don't have a purpose, if you have a goal that you are moving towards to, then you have to avoid all of the things that's going to stop you from reaching that goal, right? But if you don't have a goal in mind or a purpose in mind, then you're just a lost cause, like honestly. And honestly, I would say this has happened to me as well. I was also not sure of what I wanted to do, and thankfully, like I got into business, and it's been life changing, man. Honestly, like I would
Absolutely.
say I'm really like fulfilled, and I've gotten the opportunity to connect with amazing business owners like you, like amazing people as well, right? Deep down, and that's really like I'm really blessed for that, and really like honestly, if you try it, you don't even know like what kind of opportunities will come your way. So I would say
Well,
that.
and you said it, you are who you surround yourself with, So you are the people that you surround yourself with. And if it's very easy to surround yourself with low quality people. It's very easy to surround yourself with people that don't have goals and aspirations. And I think that's what sucks us in. It's very easy to just go party and let loose and have fun with these people. And it's hard to surround yourself with people that have goals and aspirations because those people are holding themselves to a higher standard. Therefore, they will hold you to that higher standard when you're around them. And so it's very hard to be around those people, but it's much more rewarding, like you're saying. Like it's much more rewarding to surround yourselves with those people and grow as a human. But it is very hard to do at first. It's very hard to do at first because it's very outside of your comfort zone. It's going to push you. It's going to make you into a new human, and that's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just based on what you said, I would say myself, like honestly, it was a couple of months ago. Like first of all, I only have two friends right now, and both of these two friends are really close to me, and they're both like pursuing the same goal as me, right? So
Hmm.
one friend of out of the three of us, he is doing really well, right? So he closed a really big project that was kind of, I would say, like the dream for three of us, right? And
Uh huh.
we both saw that, and like we were like really happy for him and all of that, and we were wishing him, and but deep down I also knew I wanted that. So guess
Yeah.
what, like subconsciously I had in mind all of that, and then I worked really hard, and then I got like I think so three projects like that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah.
like building trust for us, like coming off as without any connections, and like building trust with people that are like maybe in another country, or maybe trying to sell a service that other people have experienced maybe scams with. That is kind of a really hard thing, and honestly doing that was really fulfilling, and that was like really purpose driven as well. So I would say, like, if you keep yourself with people that are doing well than you, then you are honestly subconsciously, even if you are not aware of it, you are subconsciously going to try to achieve that as well, or maybe try to win over those people as well, right? So you are going to
Absolutely.
constantly like push yourself to like level up, right? Awesome. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
man, what would you say about sales? Because sales is huge, and honestly, sales is. I'm also like kind of new to sales, so I'm not an expert on that. So, what's your advice on anyone getting into sales?
It's not for the weak. It's constant rejection. It's constant heartache. It's, oh, I thought I had that one, and then they went with someone else or they did something else. It's constant rejection. It's constant heartache. So it's not for the weak. But
I can
I
tell you
think
that.
it's for more people than what people give themselves credit for. I think people are personable and people are outright most of the time positive and happy. And so I try to keep it, positive. And I think that more people could do it than they think. But if you can't get your mindset around the fact that you're going to get told no a lot and you're going to feel rejection a lot, then it's probably not worth it for you. But I will say it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. I enjoy my career. I've enjoyed every step of the way of learning more sales techniques and habits and growing as a salesperson. I love sales. I truly am like devoted to sales. I love sales, and I like teaching sales. I like bringing on a new person and teaching them the next step. So that being said, you said that what would I say for advice? Learn everything you can. There is always someone better than you. It's like a professional sport, right? You've got to be fine tuned and polished and in shape and ready to go all the time. And there's someone that always knows more about sales than you do. And there will always be someone that knows a new trick and a new something. So keep super open minded. A lot of salespeople have a problem with being the smartest person in the room because, it takes a lot of confidence and ego to do sales. So a lot of guys get wrapped around the fact that they're so smart and they're the ones, that know everything. And the problem with that is there is so much more to learn and so much more to grow and so much more to experience in sales. And if you're not ready and open-minded for it, you'll miss it. You'll miss it. You'll miss that trick, that tip, that little thing that could change your whole career. I've had many mentors in sales, and I've had many, teachers in sales, and I still use things that I, learned 12, 14 years ago, and those things still help me grow as a salesperson and have made me into the salesperson I'm in, that I am. And so it's very important that you stay open-minded because there's going to be something that someone comes along and tells you, and if you're not ready to experience that and learn that, you'll miss it, and it could have changed your life. It could have changed, the difference of, I'm not even exaggerating, $100,000 more dollars a year. It could change, that little thing that you just weren't open-minded enough to listen to could change your whole career. It could change million. It could be the difference in millions of dollars. So that's key. That's key. That's absolutely key that you stay open-minded and ready to learn.
100%. And honestly, all of what you said, I really relate to that as well, right? Because when I started, honestly, first of all, I had zero communication skills because I didn't even know how to speak English, right? The first guy
Wow.
that that I closed for like my first website project, I was on the call with him, and honestly, I couldn't even explain to him in straight words what I was gonna do for him. But he trusted me, and that changed my life, right? So I've improved my communication a little bit, like trying to speak the language better and all of that. But sales is like really good. Even after that, like trust is first of all a huge thing. If you can win someone trust, then honestly you can get a sale a lot more easier, right? Because like a lot of what I see is like a lot of salesperson are going to like watch a lot of sales videos, and honestly this happened to me as well. And they're going to be on a call, and they're trying to be like maybe a salesy person, right? So
Yeah.
and that like gets to people, right? And they can see like you're trying to sell, they can see you are not trying to provide value, and this can like really like have a bad effect. And also like I really love like honestly sales. I'm also like first of all new to sales. I'm still learning. I'm still like learning from other people. And honestly I really love like the way sales work and how you can like, for me what I've noticed, sales is like it's the way of communication, like properly communicating, like
Yes.
answering or maybe getting to the pain point of whatever your customer may have, and also building trust. These are what sells for me, and I really love honestly all of that.
Well, it's an art. It really truly is an art. You nailed it. A couple points to what you said was, you said a lot of guys will read sales books and listen to videos and things like that. And I have a coach right now. Funny enough that you say, I have a sales coach right now. This far into my career, I still hire coaches and I still have people to learn from. And I have a coach right now named Reggie Brock. He's in the roofing space and he's amazing. Do you know Reggie Brock?
I'm not aware of.
Okay, when you get off this call, why don't you look up Reggie Brock and listen to some of his stuff? He's fantastic.
Also,
So
I'll do that.
you absolutely you have to. In the roofing space, he's one of the best roofing salespeople I've ever met. But he says knowledge, everyone says knowledge is power, but that's not the case. We can keep reading all these books and listening to all these sales videos, but understanding is the power behind all of what you just said. Learning and sales videos and things like that. We often overload ourselves with all this knowledge, sales, 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 this guy, listen to this guy, listen to that guy, go to a conference, read a book, da 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 da. But then we overload ourselves and we never take time to understand the knowledge. So that's my first key point of what you just said, is that if you're trying to get into sales and you want to learn sales, it's not, the knowledge is not the power, because there's knowledge everywhere. We can go pick up a book, we can listen to videos, we can do all this stuff. It's right at our fingertips. But understanding the message behind these guys, understanding the message behind that sales trick, that sales tip, that whatever it might be, is really the key here. The other thing that you brought up too was that you said at the end, you said we look for pain points. It's a really good point. We ultimately, as salespeople, need to be asking better questions and trying to find the root cause of what's going on with our customers. And if we can find those things and we can ask better questions and get to a better place with that, it's like you said, it's the art of communication. It's the art of understanding people and their pain points and understanding what they need and then delivering on that. So morally and ethically, right, as long as we're doing that and we are getting to the bottom of what they need and want and providing them a service or an item that gets them in a better place, there's nothing more rewarding than that, I feel. I feel it's so rewarding to take someone that is having a pain point, having a problem, and then delivering on something that they need. So it's very rewarding. If you want to get into sales and you want to learn something, if you want to become a better salesman or become a salesman at all, it can be extremely rewarding helping people get the things they need.
100%. And honestly, it can rewarding in terms of money as well, but that aside, it can rewarding in other ways as well, right? Like I would say, roofing itself is an industry where there are a lot of scams or like a lot
Yeah.
of not so good people from what I've seen, right? So if you,
Yes.
in that type of industry, like you are the right person providing value and helping these people. Like literally, one day ago, I had another roofer that I interviewed. I saw his story, and in his story, he on Instagram story, he showed a house that was literally flooded, and because of that flood, like the water coming through the roof, that house was literally damaged, and all of the furniture, all of the paint, all of like literally all of that is going to be renovated, and that's going to cost them, I'm not sure, like maybe a new house, right? So you are saving that, right? You are saving
Yeah.
people the distress of like thousands of dollars of money, right? So you are
Yeah.
like doing a really maybe serving the community. So you need to understand that, and if
Yes.
you can have that type of purpose, or I would say like goal in mind, then honestly you can like really achieve big numbers, and I really believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's roofing is one of the things that is ultimately like the most rewarding sale I've ever been in, because we are protecting their assets and fixing their assets when they have problems, and that's extremely rewarding to help someone when they're in their time of need with their home. My dog is barking. Can you hear him?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you, no worries, man. All right, awesome, man. And honestly, mentorship, I've talked to people that invested in mentorship at a time they could not afford. Like I have few really amazing stories for you.
Yeah.
Like one guy I interviewed, he had zero money at the time, and he was invited to a networking event by another friend that has like started a painting company and scaled his painting company to $1 million in just 1 year, just by like door knocking and all of that, right?
Wow.
So he invited his other friend who had like zero money at the time, right? And he invited him to that networking event, and at the time he had no money. He didn't tell them. He said let's go, right? He went in like $3,000 step, right, just to go to that event, because you had all of the fees, all of the like maybe transportation fees, all of that. And what he learned from that event, he implemented all of that, right? And he came back, and after those 3 months, he made like $100,000 plus, right?
Yeah,
Just from implementing all of what he learned from that networking event. So,
yeah,
like, right back to what you said, like, even that small thing can make a really huge difference and huge impact in what you do, or like it can be thousands of, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, man.
yeah, absolutely.
And like, what will you say about networking and mentorship as well? Because uh, like, one opinion, not opinion, what I've seen online is, because of like online course selling and online all of that, people are not really like a big fan of mentorship nowadays.
Yes. So I am not a huge fan of it either, to be honest, to an extent. So I obviously have some coaches that I work with and things like that. But what I'll say is there's a lot of fake guys out there that are just in it for the money. They're not trying to really take you under their wing and help you. So if you're going to find a coach or a mentor, make sure he's right for you, and hire slow and fire fast, right? So if you feel the service isn't there and you feel like you're not getting anything out of it, fire him, move on. Don't get in a contract with someone, don't get in, because it's, you don't know, and so take your time, really vet the person, vet the person and see if they're the coach for you, if they're the right person, and then if they're not, get rid of them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you said mentorship, and what else?
Networking.
Networking. So networking is super important, right? In our business of sales as well. But it's so important that there's a saying, and it says your net worth is basically, the saying goes that you are your net worth is who you surround yourself with. And so it's so true, because the first company I opened, if I'm being honest, I didn't open my first company. I had no money when I opened my first company. And I happened to network and meet somebody that had money, and I was able to open that first company because he had the money portion of it. So that, was life changing. That helped a lot and got me into a place where I could open my own company. And so networking is probably one of the most important things you can do in business and sales, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what they're going to have and to offer, and you never know what you're going to need from someone one day. So it's super important that you don't burn bridges, that you keep positive interactions going, and that you constantly keep growing with people, that might have something to offer you one day, and you might have something to offer them as well. That's kind of the cool thing about networking, is you never know what opportunities are going to come out of it. So
100%, man. And honestly, I want to say about contracts as well. Like,
mhm.
in my industry specifically, like, I'm not a marketing guy, I'm a web design and branding guy, right? So in my industry specifically, I've seen a lot of business owner get like scammed by huge, like, I would say, agencies, and they like get stuck in a contract, right? And then even if they want to switch, they are not able to switch. So
Mhm.
I'm not saying this myself, I've literally like talked to two people this past week. They, like, they were in the contract or whatnot, and one guy, he fired the marketing agency because he no longer needed the services, right? And they shut off his website. They turned down all of that, right? So I would say, like, honestly, avoid contracts as much as you can, because you don't know if like the other company is the right thing, or maybe they are just trying to scam you. And honestly, that kind of like really motivates me as well, right? Because at first it was just like I'm back at the same thing that I said myself, right? In the start, you might sell roof just to make some money, but after that, you get the purpose, right? So I started in the website space and the branding space just for the money, right? And then after that, I really started loving what I do. And then after that, it became my passion. Like after seeing like a lot of these business owners have like a really bad experience, or maybe the trust wasn't there, right? I literally had a guy yesterday sign up with me, and he had a lot of trust issues. And for me to be able to win his trust, honestly, that's really big for me.
Yeah.
And like now it's a lot more purpose driven, right? So I would say that as well. And honestly, really solid advice, I would say. And on mentorship as well, that's what the other people that I've interviewed said the same thing, right? Like there can be right coaches for you, or there can be bad coaches for you as well. But if you are going to invest in someone, just make sure that they have achieved what you want, right? All
That's
right,
right.
man. So like what made you switch, like because you are mostly like salesman, right? So
Hmm.
I see you have built a really amazing brand for like king roofing, right, online. You have a lot of amazing reviews, you have a lot of amazing video testimonials, and you have built a really like brand identity for your company. So like what made you go from that to like online as well?
So you're asking what we what we did online? What do you mean?
No, I'm asking like because most roofers, I would say like most roofers get hit up like, I don't know, 5 to 10 times a day by marketing companies trying to sell them
Yeah.
like, can you handle like 5 to 10 roofs a day? So
Yeah.
that's kind of a meme I have. I will share with you after this, right? So it's really funny. So like they think now at this point, because it's a lot of spam going on, they think that this is a scam. So like what made you go into that, and what made you build such an amazing brand? Because I see you do like really amazing stuff.
Yeah, we have been scammed, man. Like we we have went with different marketing agencies that said they were going to give us all these leads and that we were going to make all this money, and we've been totally scammed. You know, and that money back guarantee if you don't make your money and da 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 da. No, it's like it's never, it's hardly ever worked. They they promise a lot and deliver very little, right? So that's kind of been the situation that we've ran into, is that we've found that there's very few legitimate guys out there that are really in the space, especially in roofing, that know what they're doing when it comes to marketing and branding. And so we, you know, we've built our brand on knocking doors mostly, and we have, you know, networked and knocked doors to the point where, sorry, it's raining, I'm going to move inside, to the point where, you know, we have a pretty solid foundation in the community. But I would say that even more so, that's important is probably, it's been mostly organic, man. So it's been a lot of organic. So that's been the hardest thing to do, is just to stay organic and not use a lot of agencies. But you know, I know there's legit ones out there. It's just hard to find, like you said, right? It's hard to find. It's hard to find without a contract. It's hard to find, you know, good guys in this space. Just like
Yeah,
roofing, it's hard to find good guys in the space.
yeah. So they got you with the money back guarantee, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, the money
Yeah,
back guarantee, and
the
they don't
good
pay
old one.
shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's kind of like the good marketing guys are trying to win the trust of like the good roofing owners, and the good roofing owners are trying to win the trust of the good homeowners, right? So it's kind
Yeah.
of a constant struggle for everyone out there. So that makes sense, man. And honestly, uh, I would ask, like, you have really amazing reviews. So is that all built by like getting customers in through like door knocking, and how does that work?
So our videos. So I hired a marketer. I hired a marketer for recruiting, actually. So a lot of my videos are based on like we did like ads and everything to actually recruit new guys into sales. So we focused a lot of our marketing there because we found that, you know, what we could do is get more guys in the door And if we could get more guys in the door, we could knock more doors and we can make more money. So we focused more on that than actually online marketing, because every time we've done online marketing, it's kicked us in the ass.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, one thing I've noticed with video testimonials as well, right? I checked out your website. You have really amazing video testimonials, like a homeowner or maybe a business owner are recording a video of them holding the phone and saying good things about your service or about your work. Honestly,
Yeah,
that works really well. You could you could be at a door trying to win someone over, right? And they might be hesitant. And if you show them that video, or maybe couple of videos of a person saying good things about your company, honestly, it's going to change their mind. You know
yeah,
why? Because they're going to trust you. And why they're going to trust you? Because they have already someone else that has benefited from what you do. So that's kind of
right.
a really huge factor. And honestly, man, you have built really amazing company and you are now building another company, right? So what's your advice on scaling the company, right? Because scaling is, I would say, the really hard part. You have to
Yeah.
figure out the service delivery, you have to figure out the fulfillment, you have to figure out how to get more jobs and all of that stuff. So that's hard. What's your advice on that?
Um, that's a good question, man. So I do know how to, that's one thing that I can do very well is scale a company, right? Is take a company from 0 to 10 million in 3 years without ever owning a company. That felt good. And what I'll say behind that, if you're trying to scale a company, you're trying to do um, what we did was to a couple things. So one, like you said, building your brand super important, and it's more important to your employees that that brand means something than anything. Obviously, it means something to the community and everything like that, but it means so much more to the employees that work for you when they wear, your shirt with your brand on it. That's more important to who they're standing behind than, because there's a million roofing companies out there that they can pick from, right? And there's a million people that will say, "I'll pay you more, than Tommy. I'll pay you more than King." And that to me was so much more important, that we built something that the employees could get behind and want to work for, and not just leave at the drop of a hat when someone offered them more. So that was the biggest thing, is building the brand internally for the company, for that King contracting, that King roofing to mean something to somebody when they were wearing that shirt. And to help them understand how much they're helping the community, help them understand how much they're helping people and changing lives. The next thing is when you're scaling, first off, you can never have too many salespeople. So salespeople come and go, and they are at the drop of a hat. Luckily, my retention rate on salespeople is a lot higher than most, but it's very hard to retain salespeople and get salespeople behind that vision, because it's all about money to us salespeople, and we can just go like I said, just jump at the drop of a hat, leave, and go find someone that'll pay me more. So when you get the salespeople behind the vision, and you can recruit well, and you can get people to be sold on the image that you have for the company and want to be a part of that. That's the key factor here, is getting salespeople and people bought into your brand, and that they want to be a part of something that's growing and scaling and gonna mean something in the community.
Robertson. So a little bit on that, like exactly what you said, the vision is everything. If you build a brand, that's really huge thing, right? Another guy that I signed, I think so last week, he had like really good terms with his team, right? And he says like when we signed up, he said to me like, me and the team are excited about the website, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
myself, right? So that kind of showed me about how much he cared about his team and how much the team cared about his company, right? And that's rare to
Yeah,
see. You don't
it is.
see that with every other company out there, right? And especially in roofing, if you build a amazing brand, then like honestly, people are going to be staying longer with you because they see your vision, they see your purpose, and honestly, they are going to know like what type of like help they're or maybe what type of amazing work they're doing for the community, right? And that makes a really huge difference. So I would try like to end this off with, what's the impact that you felt in your heart after helping so many young people? Because I see you, I saw your post the other day where you had another like uh, I think so maybe a beginner come in and close another big deal, right? So what's kind of
Yeah.
the impact you have had after going through all of what you have gone through, and how does it feel to be like helping the community, helping the young guys, and building such an amazing company?
So I take it as a personal responsibility for everybody that works for me that I help them provide for their families. I take it a personal responsibility that not only does this company provide for me and my family, but it also provides for the people around me and the people that have decided to buy into it, that they also get something out of this, that they are able to feed their families and grow as a human and become something that, that King Contracting provides something for more than just myself, more than just themselves, and that it can be, something that their whole family thrives off of, and that they become a better person as well. So it's very cool, man. That is my most rewarding factor of all of this, is watching the people grow financially and personally. And when they are able to, I had an employee actually send me a picture of his new car. He's never had a new car before. And he sent me a picture of his new car, and he said, "This is because of you. This is because you gave me a chance," he said. And that's not true. It was all his hard work and his dedication to that he's grown and gotten raises and become a better person and things like that. But it is so cool and rewarding to have someone reach out to you and say, "I hit a goal, a personal and financial goal. I'm having a better life because you built something." And I didn't build it by any means. It takes a whole team to do that. Like you said, that guy that said, our team is excited, and that's the truth. You can't build a brand by yourself. There's nothing. There's no such thing as a self-made man. It's just not real. You have to. There's other people along the way that help you get where you go, and that is the most rewarding part of roofing and sales and everything that my career's come to at this point. That people around me are thriving off of the decisions I make. People around me are thriving off the decisions that I've decided to make along the way to get where I am. And that's the coolest part of this journey, is that there's people that are able to look to me and say, "You made a good decision, so now my life thrives from that." That's the most rewarding thing I can ever do in this lifetime, is make a good decision that other people get to thrive off of. So it's really cool, man. I'm glad that we're ending on that note, because that is the best part of this career and job, is that the people around me thrive as well.
100%, man. And honestly, I really love all of what you have said. And last thing I would say is that if you are a single person, let's say this is you, right? And this is King Contract, King Contracting, right? And this is a whole team, this is a whole brand, this is only you trying to compete with this. You are never going to beat this team and a brand because you are alone, right? And
Yeah.
honestly, for me as well, I realized I need to have a good team that can fulfill on what I sell, right? I
Hmm.
cannot be all the time making websites, I cannot be all the time doing all of the work, right? I need a good
Yeah.
team that can help me scale. And that's also fulfilling to see, like, if they they bring in more money just because I hired them to do a job. And honestly, this is a really amazing feeling to like have experienced, and this is like the real purpose, and I would say the real goal behind all of what we do. And I really appreciate you hopping on, man. So hopefully
Yeah,
somebody finds this
absolutely.
valuable.
Thanks for having
And
me.
honestly, this was a really good conversation, I would say.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was really great. I appreciate it.
So